You're welcome, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much. You're welcome to.
Prabhu, whenever you use this your computer and you use background, you look like a shadow inside your background.
Yes, that is good now. You don't like it?
You're welcome, Prabhuji. It's not of high quality.
Yeah, sure.
So what you can do, Prabhu, next is that go to computer house and buy webcam.
Okay.
They will give you a external camera. They call it webcam.
Okay.
The quality will be better than the camera of your computer. So that would be very nice, more than this. Okay.
No problem.
You are posting it you are posting it on the line, so the quality has to be improved.
That's true.
The quality is not very good, I'm telling you.
Okay. What about this? This is better than the other one.
It's manageable, yes, because the other one you always hide behind the
shade, the web, cobweb.
Yes. So this one is better.
Okay.
But we can continue from there.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunjabiyare Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Jasudanandana Jai Brajajanarajana Jai Yasudanandana Jai Brajajanarajana Jai Brajajanarajana Jai Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Kunjabihari Jai Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Kunjabihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Govinda, Jaya Radha, Jaya Radha Syama Sundar, Jaya Radha. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Jagana, Baladeva, Jaya Suvan, Jaya Pralani Singha, Jaya Pralani Singha, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Nitai Gaur, Haribol, Go to Haribol. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sriman Bhagavatam ki Jai, Sri Isopanishad ki Jai, Bhakti SHASTRI ki Jai, all glories to all the students ki Jai, Buddha Premanande Haribo. Yeah, please, you are welcome to today's session of our Sri Isopanishad. And as we said before, the Sri Isopanishad is divided into parts. And this particular session is the second session of the Sri Isopanishad, dealing with the spiritual vision that will enable us to see Krishna. The spiritual vision that will enable us to understand the absolute truth. And in the first part of it, which was 4 and 5 mantras, we talked about how the Lord is inconceivable. And yesterday we heard about many attributes of the Lord that are apparently contradictory. And we said they are not contradictions, but they are paradoxes. So can any of you remember one of the things something from our yesterday class? Please, briefly, we need 1 or 2 or 3 people to say something. What can you remember from yesterday's class? A recap. Say one thing that you remember from yesterday's class.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
I remember the 3 types of vision you talk about: the Jada vision, Jada Maya, the Manu Maya, and the Chin Maya.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Please, your internet is actually weak. So your internet is weak. Take note of that.
Okay.
You have to identify strong reception areas, or get a SIM that is having strong network in that particular area you are located.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay, now we can hear your voice clearly.
Okay, you also talking about that the Lord is not illogical, but it's translogical.
Very good. That's okay, because if we give you a chance, I know you. You are going to say all the things that the other people want to say. You will disarm every other person, so that one is okay. Thank you very much. Yes. Can someone else say something, what you can remember from yesterday's class? Just unmute, then you say it. On a sharp note. Jamasami Mary, say something. What you remember from yesterday's class? Hare Krishna.
Yeah, we talked about the Lord who takes is also is inconceivable potency. And then what I wanted to say, Osai Lucky accept them, so I don't know.
Say it again.
I said what I wanted to talk about, Osai Lucky has just said them all.
Even though he has not started. I know that he's trying to download. It's good I stopped him, otherwise he would have just emptied all of you.
Babu, you will have allowed him to say it now for the benefit of others.
Okay. Since they are even reluctant to say, Mr. Lucky Osai or Dr. Lucky Osai, say something more on their behalf. Unmute first.
Okay, Prabhu. One of the things we also discuss again is the devotees, which are the Kanishta, the Karis, who are the level stage of devotional service, the lowest stage. So you brought up a question like, what those devotees at the lowest stage who are worshiping the deity, what are they worshiping? Since they cannot see the Lord, they cannot talk with him. So is that not a idol worship? So according to the answer, you said no, there's not idol worship. Why? because the deity form is an incarnation of the mercy of the Lord. The reason he incarnated in this form is to give the mercy to bestow mercy upon the devotees. So although they cannot relate with the deity very well, as far as they are serving the deity according to the instructions of their charya, it's not idol worship, it's deity worship as well. So also talking about the incarnation of God, you said someone may ask that, like the Mayavadi may argue that the Lord, when he incarnates in the material world, the Lord cannot incarnate in the material world, and even if he incarnates, it is a material form, not a spiritual form. They also defeat the argument by saying, first, the Lord is not limited, and by trying to say the Lord cannot incarnate in the material world, it is a limitation to the Lord first. It is an insult to the Lord. So when we say he incarnates in the material world, he incarnates spiritually. That form is spiritual form, it's not a material form. So His Grace Kavi Kanapura Prabhu quoted the verse.
Okay, it's okay.
From I don't know this which verse from which book or so.
Kavi Kanapura Prabhu, please tell us the verse and from which book.
It's from Letter of Devotion by Shilarupa Goswami. He quoted it from another book. But generally, we always from the Letter of Devotion. Atashi Krishna Namadi Nabave Grayam Indriyai. Sebomuke Jiwado Soyam Evasporatiada. That we cannot understand Krishna, we cannot understand anything connected to Krishna, his name, pastimes, qualities, with our blunt material senses. But when we engage in devotional service to Krishna, starting from our tongue, starting from our tongue, then Krishna revealed himself to us.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
So it's okay. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. And thank you very much, Prabhuji also. We thank the Prabhujis. The Prabhujis are in charge. The Matajis will wake up. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. There are many more things we said. Let us be attentive so that we can always take something home and something that we can easily recall. So be attentive. Now we are on the second theme. The second theme of the Isopanishad. And the second half of it. Here today, yesterday we talked about the inconceivable attributes of the absolute truth. And these attributes, so they should easily be remembered. How the Lord works but does not work. How he's far away but is very near as well. How he's inside of everything and is outside of everything at the same time. Is inside of everything as the antaryami or the soul within the body. As the super soul, I mean, is inside everyone as the super soul, and is outside everything as a universal form. So material qualities do not define the Lord, because the Lord is beyond both the material and the spiritual energy. So it's materially inconceivable. And therefore, we should offer obeisances. That obeisances means we are recognizing the Lord as inconceivable, and we are ready to serve him. And when he's pleased with us, he can reveal himself to us. But to try to understand him with our blunt material senses, as the verse quoted by Kavikanapura Maharaj contains, it is not possible. Okay, so having said that, we are coming to today's session, Mantra 6, which is a continuation from yesterday. Now, to understand the inconceivable attributes, if we really want to understand the inconceivable attributes, we need to develop spiritual vision. To develop spiritual vision first, spiritual vision is developed by seeing worldly things, worldly events, worldly activities with equanimity. That means we have to develop equal vision. So that theme is Mantra 6, and it extends to mantra 7. And this is where we are. Now let us look at the mantra. Mantra 6. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani evanupasyati sarva bhutesu chatmana tatuna vijugupsate. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani evanupasyati sarva bhutesu chatmanam tatuna vijugupsate. Tatuna vijugupsate. Translation: a person who sees everything in relation to the Supreme and sees all entities as his parts and parcels, and who sees the Supreme Lord within everything, he never is anything nor anything. Got it? A person who sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord and sees all entities as his parts and parcels, and who sees the Supreme Lord within everything, never hates anything nor anything. So we need to develop this spiritual vision in order to be able to understand the inconceivable attributes of the Lord. Very, 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 very important. We need to do this. Because that is actually where we're supposed to be. We have to come. That is the target we are all going. But we are not there yet. Most of us are not there yet. But that is where we are expected to be. And that particular vision, that equal vision we're going to develop, looking forward to develop, is the ultimate vision. Is the vision of the highest level of devotees. And therefore, this particular verse is elucidating the glories of the Mahabhagavata. That's where Srila Prabhupada began from in his purport. The glories of the Mahabhagavata. You see? So, first, see the Atma as part and parcel of God, and we should see all other living things in relationship with God. And this you can get from Bhagavad Gita. Is supported by Bhagavad Gita. Mamaivam so jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana mana sastanendriyani prakriti stanika shati. The living entity is an eternal fragmental part and parcel of God. Part and parcel of God. We need to develop that understanding. The living entity is an eternal fragmental part and parcel of God. All living entities, not only human beings. So when we develop our vision to be able to see every living entity as soul, we are on track. Then when we go beyond, looking forward to the level of the Mahabhagavata, when we arrive there, we begin to see the super soul in all living entities. At that time, our behavior may change. It has to change anyway. Our vision will change and our behavior will change. Okay? When you develop that understanding of seeing the Lord as the super soul in every living entity, two things will happen. Our vision changes and our behavior changes also. Why? Because you come to realize that, oh, all living entities are one. And we are all part and parcel of the same supreme soul. So in other words, the sufferings I had are the same sufferings that other people are having also. Now I've become free from this suffering because of my understanding. Why the other people are still there suffering? Because they have no understanding about this, no eternality of the soul and its relationship with the super soul. They are not seeing the super soul. Therefore, they are stopped. So just as I got freed from this stagnation by the mercy of the pure devotees, the gurus, the shastra, the sadhu, in taking advantage of the human boat, if they also take advantage of these available facilities provided by Krishna, then they will also become liberated like me. I don't want to be liberated alone. So the compassion now overflows from his heart, from that realization, and it comes out. Then he wants to save everyone. He wants to do everything that he can do to save whatever sacrifice is involved. He wants to become a devotee, live by example, and become a living sacrifice for God so that these other people can be saved. Because he feels that what he has gotten, everybody has the right to get it. No? And I want others to get it. Do unto others as you want others do unto me. That kind of the perverted version of it. So I want these people to become free like me. It is selfish if I become free and I don't reveal the formula to others in order to connect them also to become free. Therefore, there is overflowing compassion. It is this overflowing compassion of the pure devotee who is liberated from suffering that gave birth to the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. In other words, this International Society for Krishna Consciousness is the overflowing compassion of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. It is that predicated, on Srila Prabhupada's moving to the West is predicated on that. It is that gave birth to Srila Prabhupada wanting to come to the West, suffering 2 heart attacks. He didn't give up. He came to the West and he started sometimes living with man. He was so eager to share Krishna, connect people to Krishna so that they can also experience the freedom that he has experienced. And this is the situation of the pure devotees. We need pure devotees like that all over the world. And that is why, if once Srila Prabhupada can do this that he has done, if we can also become pure devotees, some of us can become pure devotees, then we can support him in his mission of liberating all the suffering souls in the world and giving them happiness and joy. This is the mission of the missionary. This is the mission of the devotee. This is the mission. And if you read through the purposes of ISKCON, you will see this very clearly defined there. So please, this is a very big universal movement, a movement of Mahabhagavata, pure devotees. So if we are part of it, we know the thinking of the pure devotees, the founder Acharya, we should connect in a way that we can become instrument in his plan, and thus becoming instrument in the plan of God. This is the whole process. So let us take this process very, very seriously. There are 2 aspects to that. He sees that everything and every living being, there is a soul. We are all souls. And all these souls are part and parcel of Krishna. And they are trapped in the material body. They are suffering because they are ignorant of this. He has become freed because he got the mercy of the pure devotees. So he wants to give that same opportunity to others. And this is the way of the pure devotees. That's what it means that in the association of pure devotees, the ocean of material existence is reduced, so reduced to just like the footprint of a calf. Why? Because when he cross, with that you can cross. When he cross, he never take away the boat. The boat is still left there. And this is the boat of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We can also cross through that boat. The pure devotees are so compassionate, they are so selfless that when they cross, they don't remove the boat. They allow the boat to remain so that others can come and also cross too. This is what gave birth to the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, in which we are all parts now by his grace and the grace of his disciples. So this is the glory of this particular verse, the vision of the pure devotees, the Mahabhagavatas. Then, amazingly, he sees the Supreme Lord within each and every living entity as the super soul. So this affects his behavior. He becomes extremely humble. And his position is that he cannot preach because he's seeing everyone as pure devotee, in which the Lord is residing in his heart. He sees that he himself is, the pure devotee sees that he himself is so unadvanced. He's a neophyte. While every other person is so advanced because he sees how everything is connected to Krishna and how whatever everyone is doing is also somehow or the other connected to Krishna. He's seen everything and everybody else as part and parcel of Krishna. Their activities are part and parcel. He's seeing the material energy as part of Krishna also. So whatever they are doing, everyone else is doing is perfect. But he is the only person that is not perfect. Therefore, he cannot preach. The Mahabhagavat they are talking about here is so advanced that he cannot preach. If you are not a true Mahabhagavat and you want to practice Sajyaism, you want to be seen as a Mahabhagavat, whereas you are not yet a Mahabhagavat, then you go, you see the tiger, you see the soul in it, and you want to embrace the tiger, thinking that you are a man, you want to give impression that you are a Mahabhagavat. You might not live to be able to embrace another tiger again. But once you embrace a tiger, you will see that the next time only the skeleton can embrace the tiger, another tiger again. So let us be very careful not to try to imitate them, the Mahabhagavat, or wanting to be seen as a Mahabhagavat without developing the qualities. So we want to help ourselves to start to develop these qualities from a low level. First, recognizing our position, recognizing the next position before you come to the ultimate position. So this particular purport of Srila Prabhupada is analyzing all this. So such a person, he does not hate any living being, nor anything. He's equiposed, he has transcended material duality. And they are there actually, but we are not there yet. We are trying to build ourselves up to be there. So let us know our position. Don't embrace a tiger yet. Don't try to live in the same room with a snake yet. For now, if you see a snake, take a very good stand first and see what to do to send him out of the, because we are not yet a Mahabhagavat. You see? Because the snake will see that the Mahabhagavat is non-violent and he doesn't feel any violent reaction towards him because violence invokes violence. So if you have some violence in you and you try to behave like a pure devotee before a snake, you might not live to see another snake again. So let us know our levels. Now let's go into the purport. Srila Prabhupada purport first talk about those who are at the beginning stage of the path, the Kanista Adhikari. Kanista Adhikari, the second paragraph talks about one who is a little bit more advanced, Madhyama Adhikari, and one who is a little bit, who is most advanced, who is the Mahabhagavat, is discussed in the third paragraph. Uttama Adhikari. Uttama Adhikari. And the one who has that transcendental vision, complete transcendental vision that is glorified in this particular verse. And Srila Prabhupada in this purport, he contrasts the Uttama Adhikari's vision with the, in paragraph 4, in paragraph 4 of the Isopanishad, Srila Prabhupada contrasts the Uttama Adhikari's vision with the false conception of other visions, oneness, pretenders, how they see and interpret that oneness that Uttama Adhikari is talking about. Yes. Then in the fifth paragraph, we are advised to observe first and see, following the ways of the previous acharyas. We have to advise, we have to try to observe and then see observe and see. These are the two principles there. And there's a word that is being analyzed. And the Sanskrit word there is anu pasyati. Anu means to observe, and pasyati means to see. Anu pasyati. And there is a way we are expected to see. Yomam pasyati savatra. So anu pasyati is anu plus pasyati. Observe plus see. Then we have a clear vision. If we follow in the footstep of the other aspirants, because try to observe, if we try to observe, we may come to wrong conclusions because our senses are imperfect. Now, while observing, we should know that our senses are imperfect. What we are seeing is not perfect. Therefore, we need to see with the eye of the scriptures. We need to see following the footstep of the previous acharyas, and we have to see through the scriptures. We have to see through the scriptures. Then it becomes proper perception. Paragraph 6, we see the section of the Bhagavatam. There's a section of the Bhagavatam from which practically this mantra is coming from. And that particular verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, it was not translated, it was not given purport by Srila Prabhupada, okay? Because it's the 11th canto of Bhagavatam. 11th canto of Bhagavatam was translated and purported by Srila Prabhupada's disciples. Okay, Prabhupada stopped in 10th canto. So his disciples continue from where he stopped. But you can see that the mantra is actually extracted, is coming out from there. And we see the correlation between the two. So we are going to come to that later. But not now, but later we are going to come to that. But after that verse, that is Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto, write it down. Afterwards, go and read it. 11th canto, 2nd chapter, verse 45. 11th canto, 2nd chapter, verse 45. Later we'll come to that when we start taking the purport paragraph by paragraph. We eventually come to this purport and we elaborate on it. But go and read that. But don't stop there. Because there they started from the Uttama Adhikari, the pure devoted. They also talk about the Madhyama Adhikari in the next verse. That is 11 to 46. Madhyama Adhikari, the qualities of the Madhyama Adhikari. They are enumerated elaborately there. No, the purport is given. Then don't stop there, because they are coming a descending way from Uttama Adhikari. They talk about Madhyama Adhikari. Then they talk about the Kanista also. These 3 verses, please memorize them for your own, consumption, so that you can invoke them as weapons anywhere, as preaching tools anywhere, anytime. The 3rd verse is 11 to 47. These 3 verses are talking about Uttama Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari and their qualities, and Kanista Adhikaris. Please note it down. After the class, go and read, so to cement what we hear from the class and what we will be able to derive from the class. So revelation is made already. Go to Srimad Bhagavatam 11 to 45, 46, 47. You should read it afterwards. I wanted to give it to you to read yesterday, but I told you to just stick to the purport and derive, extract the qualities from there. But today, we're going to read that and glance through the other one. Then you go and do that one as your personal assignment to cement and solidify what you hear today. So take notes. There'll be a lot of revelation as we are going on. So that's why you need to be in class, so that you can get this. You don't need to suffer yourself to get it out. Somebody will get it out and come and share with you. Okay, then Paragraph, okay, we are in paragraph 6. Paragraph 6 continues. These verses are there, extract them. Now you establish how Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam are the most important of all authorized scriptures, for the Vaishnavas. Yes, actually, when we started this course, we told you that the words directly spoken by Krishna, they are called Shrutis. Shrutis, unedited, they are coming from Krishna directly, and the Upanishads are in that category. But ordinary person cannot understand the Upanishads, the words of the Lord. So the great devotees, the sages, the evolved souls, they receive it through oral reception. They work on it, they tune it, they extract it, and they make a curriculum out of it and start to present it. So that which has been worked on by the pure devotees, the sages of Nami Narayana and other people, in the form of churning out, asking questions and trying to extract the essence, they are called the Smritis. The ones directly from the Lord, they are Shrutis. The one being worked on by the sages, they are called Smritis. Okay? But Bhagavad Gita is both Smriti and Shruti, because Krishna directly spoke Bhagavad Gita, yet it has been worked on by the pure devotees. So it's both Shruti and Smriti. But the Sri Isopanishad is not what is being worked on by anyone. It's directly the words of Krishna. So it has a special position. Sri Isopanishad has a special position. So the position of Sri Isopanishad is established in the second part of paragraph 6. The speciality of Sri Isopanishad is established in the second part of paragraph 6. So that is it. We should read again after today to solidify, to cement. Then, who can see, as in the stage of Mahabhagavat or Uttama Adhikari? That one constitutes the last part of the paragraph. The last part of the paragraph. There, we have a quotation from the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, not one quotation. There is a section of the Bhagavad Gita that is dealing with this. And one of the key quotations is Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmani Gavi Hastini Sunichaiva Swapa Kecha Pandita Samadasina Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmani Gavi Hastini Sunichaiva Swapa Kecha Pandita Samadasina. That is Bhagavad Gita 5:18. But you start from 16. But this particular verse is 5:18. And what is the translation? As you can see there on the screen. But anyway, my man is using his phone. That's why he's struggling with the the humble sage, by virtue of true knowledge, sees with equal vision a learned and gentle brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater. This is the Mahabhagavat we are talking about, we are going to read about in this purport. The Mahabhagavat is the one we are referring to here. He sees with equal vision. To him, if he embraces tiger, tiger will be laughing. But if you have not arrived there, if you are pretending, you go and try. Tiger, you will not live to embrace another tiger again. You will just be in your location will be translocated to other dimensions. You will lose all your friends, you will lose all your properties, you will lose your phones, you will lose your body even. That is what we are saying. So you have to become first a Mahabhagavat, then you can behave as a Mahabhagavat. Okay. Meanwhile, let us know where we are. We know how to behave in order to gradually elevate ourselves. So let's not jump the ladder. Let us start from where we are. Let us start from the bottom of the ladder. Even if you think you are high, let us start from the bottom of the ladder so that we can be safe. In case we are not high and we are thinking we are high, if we start from the bottom of the ladder, we will be safe. So please, this is it. These qualifications are there from verse 16, verse 16 up to verse 24 and beyond. So do yourself fine by going to study these verses so that you can hit this, because this particular area is a foundational area for any devotee. And you must know this very well. Who is a Kanista, who is a Madhyama, who is an Uttama? Then you can know where you are. You know how much intensity you need to put in order to arrive at where you really want to be. You see? So let us not falsely claim that we are there when we are not actually there. So that is it. There are many quotations also that support this. First of all, there are qualifications for seeing Krishna everywhere. It is stated in the Brahma Samhita. There is a verse, you should go and read that also. Brahma Samhita 5:38. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hridayesu Vilokayanti Yam Syama Sundarama Chintya Guna Swarupam Govinda Madipurusam Tamaham Bhajami. Brahma Samhita 5:38, the qualification to be able to see as a Mahabhagavat, the qualifications of this Mahabhagavat, they are given. Their eyes are tinted with the salve of love. Therefore, they can see very clearly what the soul is, what the super soul is, how the super soul is residing with everyone. Therefore, their behavior changes. Their vision changes and their behavior changes. There is transformation of hearts. There is transformation of hearts. So I've given you a lot of references now. Okay. I worship Govinda, the Prema Lord, who is Shyamasundara, Krishna himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts, with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love. The eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love. That makes the pure devotees, that differentiates the pure devotees from the devotees who are advancing, who are not yet pure. So please, there is qualification for Mahabhagavat. Let us not pretend until we arrive there. We have a ladder to climb. We should be ready to work on ourselves until we gradually arrive. Okay? Are you ready to go gradually? Prahlad Maharaj is a pure devotee. For the pure devotees, so many things happen. Prahlad Maharaj is a pure devotee. And for the pure devotees, so many things happen. So many things. And for them, they see the Lord everywhere, and the Lord fulfilled their words. And Prahlad Maharaj was in the palace with his father when the father suddenly started confronting him as a demon. And he queried him so that he can find fault with him and stand on that fault to finish him. Because he doesn't want any competitor, and his son is competing with him. So Prahlad, he had Prahlad say, okay, where is this your God you are talking about? It's everywhere. And you say it's everywhere? Is it within this pillar also? This pillar here? This pillar in my front here? He said, yes, it's there. Yeah, he just took a club. His intention was that if he break it, the pillar, and the Lord doesn't come out from there, then the next person to break is Prahlad Maharaj. So he was building up, some foundation, gathering tools, some justification for killing his son. So he wanted to take that foolish child. Okay, today I will end all this foolishness. So he said, is it within this pillar? Most immediately. He said, yes. He smashed the pillar. And what came out was Nisingadev. You see? So we are not there yet, but we are on the way, we are on track. So, but as long as a green mango remains on the tree, it will become ripe in due course of time. So let us remain on the tree. How to remain on the tree? First, let's know where we are first. Then we know how much energy we need to put in order to arrive at where we really want to be. So having said this, let us now start reading the purport. Yesterday, we told you to read the purport. Paragraph 1 is already dealing with Kanista. Paragraph 2 is dealing with Madhyama. Paragraph 3 is dealing with the Uttama. So let's start with the Kanista and progress. This time, for some technical reasons, we are not going to do the groups. There are various ways of doing the exercises, and we will employ another exercise today. That is the first information. Today, we're going to apply some exercise. And it will be more of a class exercise whereby one person is going to read one paragraph. Then at the end of the paragraph, people will now bring in onto the table what they have extracted. I told you to extract points before. Extract points about Kanista from the first paragraph. How it sees, what his mentality is, his attitude, his attributes, his characteristics. You should extract that from the first paragraph. In the second paragraph, the qualities and characteristics of the Madhyama is defined. So you see, try to see how the Kanista and the Uttama also relate, how they see things, how much they see things in relationship with the Lord, and that means their vision and their characteristics. Extract something and relate them, compare and contrast. So at the end of each reading, individuals will come up with what they have extracted. And we may not take from everybody, but we can take from a few people, something about Kanista. Then we analyze that every other person will add to it, to the list, what you have gotten that has not been said about. Then you can take note of that as about Kanista. Then when we come to Madhyama, we do the same thing. When we come to Uttama, we do the same thing. Let's go. Dr. Lucky Osai, we like your reading. So we start with you, paragraph 1.
Here is an explanation of the Mahabhagavat, the great personality who sees everything in relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are 3 stages of realizing the presence of the Supreme Lord. The Kanishta Adhikari, the person who is in the lowest stage of realization of the Lord, goes to one place of worship, such as a temple, church, or mosque, in terms of his particular type of religious faith, and worships there in terms of the scriptural injunctions. Such devotees think that the Lord is there at the place of worship and nowhere else. Such devotees cannot recognize who is in position in the devotional line in terms of realization of this Lord. They follow the routine formulas and sometimes quarrel among themselves, estimating one particular type of worship than another. These Kanishta Adhikaris in the lowest stage of devotion are called materialistic devotees, or those just trying to transit the material boundary to reach the spiritual plane.
Stop. Now extract your points individually.
Okay. So the first point here is that the Mahabhagavat is the explanation of the Kanishta. First, we talk about the Mahabhagavat first. We gave an explanation of them from the mantra, the particular mantra first. Talk about the explanation of the Mahabhagavat. And for the paragraph, you talk about 3 stages of realizing the presence of the Supreme Lord. And you talk about the first devotee, the lowest stage of devotee, which is the Kanishta Adhikari. So yeah, talk about the vision of the Kanishta Adhikari. He sees only himself as the highest. He sees the only where he's worshiping, whether it's a church, a mosque, or a temple, as the all and all. disrespect
Okay.
other place.
Okay. Take the first one. Say the first one again.
Okay, I said the first one is
Say it again.
Okay, I say is on the lower stage of national service when they are grading the Kanishta, the Karima, and the Utan Adikari. So, but this Kanishta Adikari is the lowest of them all. His own vision is that he does not know how to conduct himself for those devotee according to Nectar of Instruction Test 5, first paragraph 8. So he said the Kanishta Adikari are those who have taken initiation, but they are new, they came with fire. And if we read the Nectar of Devotion chapter 3, the fourth paragraph, the fourth paragraph, Prabhupada talk about this Kanishta Adikari.
Okay. So the first one, your network has gone wild.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, so of chapter 3 of Nepal, he explained why Kanishta Adikari is the lowest. And this we can get from Bhagavad Gita test 16. Krishna says 4 types of best among the Bharatas, 4 types of men.
Okay. Yeah, please. Your
devotional service unto me. He said the inquisitive and top devotion, that these 4 types of people are under the Kanishta Adikari category.
Okay, so can you analyze on it a little bit? Anyway, his network is bad. Can other people, other students, please, what do you derive from that? Can you put more points there? How does the Kanishta Adikari cease?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Carry on, please. How does the Kanishta Adikari see?
Yes, he sees the place of worship as he does not know the spiritual hierarchy of other devotees. So he sees only the Lord. He does not see any other person.
Okay. Have you ever observed such devotees around you? In the temple you are operating? Hare Krishna.
Yes, bro. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Oh, do you see anyone among us who is operating in that category? Yeah.
But I can't tell you.
What of yourself? You see yourself there?
Yes, bro.
That is good seeing. You just say when they go, some of the people, when they go to the temple, they just go to the deities with folded hands. They offer obeisances, they look at the deity, they put their donation, they offer obeisances. Yeah, they go. Have you seen some other people behaving like that, or you've not seen? You will not mention name now. I will not say mention name. But have you seen?
Okay, yes, bro. Yes, yeah, I've seen.
Yes.
Some few.
Most of the time, for me, I've seen Indians. A lot of Indians, they do it. They just come, they don't see, they don't recognize any devotee. They just go, they look at the deity, they offer obeisances, they put their donation, they've gone. That's all. And they don't care. Even they don't stay to listen to class, nothing. They don't stay for kirtan, nothing. They just come, offer obeisances, they go. So those are examples of canister, but there are more examples. Some more examples can be given, like sometimes you don't see certain devotees come to the temple at all. You don't see them, but the day their guru is coming, when today their guru is coming, then they appear, ma'am. I've not seen you for a long time. Oh, yes, I've been around. But the day that his guru is coming to visit the temple, is the first person to be there, arranging everything. If the guru looks here, is the one arranging this. If guru looks there, when it's time for class, he go and sit directly in front of the guru, so that the guru will see him first before any other person. Have you seen devotees like that before? These devotees are mirrors, so that we can, from there, know some. Yes, Prabhu.
I didn't have we need to describe the four kinds of persons that come to God. One was inquisitive, one was start of knowledge, and one was a start of wealth. So this come to God.
Your network is not good also.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, but it's breaking somehow. But try, continue.
Okay, I said, talked about the supreme law. One was simplicity, one was in search of knowledge, one was in search of protection, the one was in search for wealth. So everybody acts according to his level of consciousness, his realization. So those kind of persons that would just come and sit down and say, I follow to want to be a congregational member, come to put donations. They are there and they have their different desires of coming. I want to give that example. A pastor approached me some years back and he said, I used to have so many congregational members, but sometimes the number will reduce. So what is the cause of all these things? Members are coming, let me tell you about the four kinds of persons that come to him. And then I said, whether their desire is fulfilled or not, if they want to live, they will live. Everybody has. It is the one that is search for knowledge that has that realization of Krishna as the supreme personality of God. And those are the devotees that stand firm and remain fixed in the emotional service. So all of those kind of persons that always come and then basically want to I'm here, I'm chanting. Some people don't even chant. When they go to the temple, you see that they are doing Hare, but what they need is end here. So
anyway,
so it's only
just your network is not good. So we can take it as that now.
But can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
It's better now. Somehow, let's see.
Sorry, I was using external speaker.
Okay.
So that I can hear because of his ringing.
Okay. Now better.
But I just want just in 2 minutes. So I said the four kinds of person comes in. One who is in search for protection and wealth. So among these four kinds of person, the one who is the one who is in search for knowledge. And in our society, everybody has categories. Some persons, I don't want to die. Let me go and take shelter. Let me just go to temple. Krishna will protect me.
Yeah, it's okay.
Prabhu,
your network is still sabotaging you. So let's take it at that. That these four kinds of people that come to temple, at the beginning with all kinds of desires, they fall into the category of the canister.
Yeah.
They are all canister devotees. They are devotees.
Yes.
They accept Krishna, but they also accept material. They attach to both Krishna and material things. They are canister adhikaris. So those are some of them. So anytime you see them, you should be able to know that this is a canister. You are not seeing in order to look down on him, but you are seeing it in order to see how to help him, evolve gradually. So that would be our attitude. don't look down on person unless you want to lift the person up from where he is. That's why we are identifying them. We are not looking down on them for the sake of looking down. We are only identifying their characteristics so that we can know how to help them evolve. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so now Tita Prabhu, you should say something also. Is it Tita or Damodara? Damodara Prabhu.
So Stephen is
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Stephen.
Carry on.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, we are hearing you. Carry on.
So, Prabhu, from the first paragraph, from the first paragraph, it talks about how the Kanishta Adhikari type of devotees actually see the temple as a place of worship, and just like the scriptural injunctions and
what's happening to your network? All your networks are giving, they are fighting with you. Because
we are not in our house presently. We are in another part. So presently the network here is bad.
Okay. So say something very brief. One quality.
So from what the paragraph one talks about how the Kanishta devotees are materialistic devotees. Like they see the place of worship and they base on just scriptural injunctions. That's just what paragraph 1 talks about. Summary, simple and short. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Yes, they are materialistic devotees. That means they are attached to Krishna. That is why they are coming. They have some attachment for Krishna and they feel that Krishna can help them solve their problem. They want to employ Krishna in their sense gratification business. They have come, but they have recognized that Krishna can do something. So they are attached to Krishna in that sense. But at the same time, they are attached to material things also. That's why they want to use Krishna to help them to carry the material things. So they are devotees. They have started the journey. How do you help such devotees? If you are more advanced than them, how do you help them? We are going to come to that. But generally, we want to identify the characteristics of the Kanishta, how is his, how he relates. What is it? How does he behave towards devotees, other devotees? Somebody should say something in that light.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please, I just wanted to add something small. From the paragraph, I think he made mention of mosques, churches, temples, and all that. But I realized that there are some people that the paragraph talks about. These are the kind of people who doesn't accept any kind or any form of worship aside their form of worship. So if they are Christians, they believe that Jesus Christ is the only way. So these kind of people will not even accept if you tell them that there are good things in the Quran that they can learn to actually activate or motivate their lives to make their lives better. They won't accept. Their only desire is to only study the Bible, stay in the Bible, and go nowhere else. Sometimes it makes it very difficult to liberate these kind of people, because even if you tell them about Krishna consciousness, they don't want anything to do with it. If you tell them anything about Islam, they don't want to have anything to do with it. If you tell them about this or that, they don't want to have anything to do with it, unless what the Bible says. And there are others who that they are Muslims, they won't even want to hear anything in the Bible. These kind of people, I think these are the kind of people the scripture was talking about. Yeah. But it would be very good if we could accept and just listen to other perspectives. Then we would actually understand and know that, oh, okay, the Lord actually revealed himself in so many different ways and so many different forms to other peoples at other places. So the scriptures, all the scriptures actually has something good for our own lives and our own betterment. So if we could accept the scriptures, accept anywhere, that's why I love Krishna consciousness, because Krishna consciousness, either you are a Muslim, a Christian, a Hindu, a Buddhist, whatever, you can come into Krishna consciousness because you can actually learn from the scriptures and for your own good. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Wonderful. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. This is a very straight, critical point. Yet, those people they still come to Krishna. Sometimes we have pastors coming to follow devotees to India for mysticism. They fall into the category of those 4 people who come to temple. They also come. They want, even though they don't believe in what we are doing, they feel that our Krishna has some power. They want to tap the power. They want to engage Krishna in their service. So with that mentality, they come. But Krishna is so tricky is that if we accept that he's serving you, then he will enter through there and turn their hearts to make them to start serving him. They bring him into their life, wanting to use him to serve them. Then Krishna will enter into them and take them back to himself again. So they've also begun. They are accepted as magnanimous because they still accept Krishna as powerful enough to do something. So there are people like that. And also, even among those who have started devotional service, there are people whose behavior shows that they are still canistas. Those who relate to other devotees, they are canistas. One of the characteristics again of character canista is that they don't see any other devotee as advanced. They see that only the pure devotees, only the gurus, and even among the gurus, if it's not my guru, they see differences in the gurus. And this is my guru. I can only listen to him. I will attend to his classes when he's giving class, but when he's not giving class, I'm not going to be there. So in this way, they are missing a lot of things because the process of devotional service is a guru, Krishna, then the guru and the devotees. There are advanced devotees that you can learn a lot of things from. You can learn a lot of things from them, but when you don't recognize the other devotees, you deprive yourself of learning something from them. And therefore, your canista mentality is haunting you and pinning you down to where you are. It stagnates you. Canista mentality stagnates. Canista vision translates into canista activities and is a canista behavior, and it stagnates. It stagnates. You deprive yourself of the association of devotees. But we're supposed to go beyond. We're supposed to develop to the level of Mandhyama, whose qualities we are going to see also. So gradually we need to evolve from Kanista to Mandhyama. That mentality of Kanista is not favorable. You have to rise beyond it. Most of us are there in the Kanista level, but we will not say it. But we know where we are. As we go on, we are going to see more of ourselves. Yes, Hare Krishna Africa. Kavikanapura, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, there's another very salient point mentioned in that purport about the qualities of Kanista, that Kanista, they quarrel among themselves.
They quarrel among themselves. The Kanistas quarrel among themselves. Small time, they feel that they feel that they are superior to others. So in fact, the Kanistas, they see so much fault in others that small thing, they spark fire, they quarrel, they can't agree. I'm superior to you. What do you have to tell me? What do you have to tell me? I know everything that you think you know. So I can't listen to you. Small time, they quarrel. When the guru comes and they force themselves into the front, they go and behave like mosquito to the guru. They go and all what they have to give the guru, tell the guru is how this devotee is doing like this, how this quarrel is here, how that quarrel is here, how this person is like this, very offensive. They go and blaspheme other devotees to the guru. You see, they quarrel among themselves because they feel that they are superior to, they are more advanced than others. So it's a sign of a Kanista. This time we are not saying we are not going to say mention anybody. Don't mention anybody. And you should know by observation. Anupasyati. You observe and you see the behavior of different devotees, then you know where they are. And if there's a way you can help them, you should think of start helping them. They quarrel among themselves. And when the guru comes, all what they need to present, they bombard him with the behavior of that devotee, the behavior of that complaining about others. And when they meet among themselves, they backbite other devotees, and they are not ready to follow any serious devotees. They just backbite and go ahead doing whatever they like. They quarrel among themselves. That's a very beautiful point. And as we are going on, if you remember any of their qualities, just recall them. Those devotees, you should give them a chance, give them a distance, but respect them. Don't look down on them. They are gradually going to evolve. They are already on track. So don't behave in a way that will discourage them also, even though they have those qualities. Different people with different sickness come to the temple, and the temple is a place where everybody can get cured if it takes its medication very serious. So Kanista, anything more about Kanista before we go further?
Yes, Babu, and one of the more important things about Kanista is that we are all Kanista. Because sometimes, as you're talking about Kanista, I'm thinking maybe it's Bhakta Ezekiel that is Kanista. You see, I've been thinking that he's a Kanista. I know he's a Kanista. You see, now they are describing it. And me, I'm thinking that I'm a Mahabhagavat. But actually, we are all Kanista because Kanista devotee, even it is mentioned in the scripture that there is Kanista guru. A guru who is behaving on a Kanista platform. Can you imagine that? So talk less of us that we are nowhere. So we have to be humble and understand that we are still in the journey of devotional service, and we just have to concentrate on ourselves. Don't start looking around now, using this scripture to look as your microscope and start looking for Kanista. You are that Kanista, and try to elevate your consciousness.
That is the healthy way for every devotee to think. Even though you feel you are not Kanista, still think that you are Kanista because you have a lot of things to work on in order to become a pure devotee. Now, Stephen Govinda, your hand has been raised.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah, so I've been listening carefully, and I think we carry these qualities from our everyday life into devotional service. Okay, so as the previous Prabhu said, we are all behaving on our consciousness, like everything we are doing, how we are behaving, the things we do every day, how we understand things, all these things is based on our understanding and our consciousness. Some people are vibrating on a very lower frequency. Others are also vibrating on a very high frequency. And this affects our everyday life. And we carry this vibration into the devotional service, where we give respect to senior devotees, and we don't recognize new devotees. We carry these qualities to the temple, and we pay obeisance to only the deities and neglect all other devotees, thinking that they are nothing. When we come to our various houses, we call ourselves devotees, but we treat animals like they are just useless. So it's vibration that is making everyone behave this way. So actually, we are all in the Kanista level. So for us to, come to the level of Uttama Karista, we need to vibrate on a very high frequency. So how do we gain this quality? By chanting the Maha mantras, like meditating on the mantras to raise our vibration. That's, I think, the only way we can come from the Karista level to at the Karista level to the Uttama level of devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. From Kanista, we'll go to Madhyama first before we reach Uttama.
Yes.
But at least it's a level of in the elevation of the ladder. Yes, Raja Guyam, you're welcome today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, we can hear you now.
I have a question to ask. Very important question. Please, how can we help this? How can we help ourselves in terms of being a canister?
Yes, that is where we are coming to gradually. By the time we finish trashing this, we are going to see the help will be there. Actually, the help is already there by these programs that we are instituting, this systematic SHASTRI study. This is the beginning of the help. Right now, you are in the classroom to be helped, among those to be helped. And your study of the scripture will help you. Your chanting of the holy names will help you. Your service to devotees, which is the most important thing. You need to rise above by recognizing that there are other devotees. And these other devotees are advanced and they have unique qualities. All around, if you look around immediately, if your mentality changes that everybody have unique qualities, you begin to see that, yes, the next person there is there to help me. Krishna has planted him to help me by first making me to see my qualities, then seeing how you can learn from it, and you begin to see all help all around, including this BHAKTI SHASTRI program. So this BHAKTI SHASTRI program is a divine arrangement by the Param for us to help ourselves, because you are the leaders of tomorrow. And we need to give this systematic understanding so that it can help you to get a proper footing to be able to carry on the movement. So the help is already there and it's coming. As we go on, we'll see more of it. Okay, so thank you very much for that. Before we go to the next Madhyama, let us read this verse. Kavikanapura Prabhu, bring the verse and read it for us. Verse Srimad Bhagavatam 11:2-47. Are you there, Kavikanapura? 11:2-47.
Sri Avi said, is it that one?
Yes. Is this Sri Avi said? No, that Sri Avi said is 47. Sri Avi is 45, but you should read 47.
Okay, 47. Yeah. Okay, a devotee who faithfully engages in the worship of the deities, Abi?
It's always fresh, so you can never know. Forget my.
So a devotee who faithfully engages in the worship of the deity in the temple, but does not behave properly towards other devotees or people in general, is called a prakita bhakta, a materialistic devotee, and is considered to be in the lowest position. So now we know, just like Prabhu said, I should read. So now another name for Kanishta is prakita bhakta, or materialistic devotee. So we should take note of that.
Write it down if you don't know it before.
So I should read the purport? Or
read the purport.
Okay.
Fast, so that we can go
purport.
to the next.
Shilamadu Acharya comments that one in the lowest stage of devotional service faithfully worships the deity in the temple, but is not aware that the Supreme Personality of God is actually all-pervading. This same mentality can be seen in the Western countries, where people commit all types of sinful activities in their homes and in the streets, but then piously go to the church and pray to God for mercy. Actually, God is in our home. God is in the street. God is in our office. God is in the forest. God is everywhere. Therefore, God should be worshipped everywhere by the process of devotional service at his lotus feet. As stated in the verse 41 of this chapter, Kamvayuma Agni Sanina Mahimacha Jyotishim Satwani Disho Drumadim Srarit Sare Samudram Chare Shariram Yakim Chabutam Praname Anayaha. A devotee should not see anything as being separate from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, heather, fire, air, water, earth, the sun, and other luminaries. All living beings, the directions, trees, and other plants, the rivers and oceans. Whatever a devotee experiences, he should consider to be an expansion of Krishna. Thus, seeing everything that exists within creation as his body of the Supreme Lord, Hari, the devotee should offer his sincere respect to entire expansion of Lord's body. This is a vision of the Mahabhagavad devotee of the Lord.
It's okay. It's okay. Oh, the purport is still very long, have you? The purport is very long.
It's long, yeah.
It's long, so let us stop there. Let us stop there. Thank you very much. You can go and read the rest of the purport yourself. First, memorize the sloka and memorize the translation for your own personal consumption, as one who wants to make advancement in devotional service. Having said that, let us go to paragraph 2. Paragraph 2. Can any mother read paragraph 2 for us?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Next above, these Kanista Adhikaris are the Madhyam Adhikaris, the devotees who are in the intermediate stage of devotional service. These Madhyam Adhikaris observe 4 principles in relation to the Supreme Lord, which are as follows. 1. They see, first of all, the Supreme Lord. 2. They see next the devotees of the Lord. 3. They see also the innocent who have no knowledge about God. And at last, they see the atheists who have no faith in the Lord and who hate those in the devotional line. The
read paragraph 4, so 3. Read 3.
Okay, Prabhu. The Madhyam Adhikari devotee behaves differently towards the different above mentioned 4 principles. He adores the Lord, considering him the object of love, and he makes friendship with those who are in the devotional line. He tries to awaken the dormant love of Godhead in the hearts of the innocent people, but he does not approach the atheists who deride at the very name of the Lord.
Okay.
Above the...
It's okay. Stop.
Okay.
Stop. Now say 1 point from what you have read and try to elaborate on it a little bit.
Madhyam Adhikari, the first thing, first of all, they see is the Supreme Lord. Whatever it is they want to do, they put the Lord first before doing anything.
Okay. That is good. He sees the Lord, but he does not see the Lord alone. So who else does he see?
It is the next devotee of the Lord.
He sees the devotees of the Lord too. He sees the Lord, he sees the devotees. Whereas the Kanisa sees only the Lord, he does not see the devotees. 3. Who else does he see?
They see also the innocent who have no knowledge about God.
And how does it relate to the innocents? Other people can contribute also. How does it relate to the innocents?
It tries to elevate them, to bring them to Krishna consciousness.
He tries to elevate them. He not only sees the Lord, he sees the Lord, he sees other devotees of the Lord. That means he serves devotees. He recognizes devotees. He knows that without the devotees, he cannot get to the Lord. So he appreciates every devotee he sees. He tries to see some way of making them happy. He serves them. He behaves, he conducts himself in a way that they see that he appreciates their presence. If there's any service to do, he does it for them, and he recognizes the devotees. But not only that, he still recognizes those who are innocent. How does it relate to those who are innocent?
He tries to elevate them to Krishna consciousness by preaching Krishna consciousness.
Bahula Prabhu. How does it relate to the innocent?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanava Pranam. Please accept my humble best. Thank you for this opportunity. How Madhyama Adhikari relate to the innocent? Of course, when one is in knowledge, it is said that we have three ways of relating to people: those who are equal to us, those who are above us, and then those who are just beneath or maybe below us. So in these three categories, those who are the same with us, we should show them with the same respect or with the same kind, how we want ourselves to be treated. And those that we are above them, we should accept them to ourselves and then also help them to come to the level that we have gotten into. And then those who are even below, we shouldn't maybe suppress them, thinking that they are nobody, because in this world, today I am up there, but tomorrow I may be come down, I may also come to that level. But one thing that will come to devotion service is that once you are growing or you are climbing the ladder of devotion service, no matter what, we the innocent ones or the neophyte devotees will come. We don't know anything. So if you do not help us, I remember just last week, my god brother Bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti brought some devotee to the temple. And then you could see this innocent, even though she's a very grown-up woman, is even older than my god brother himself. But the way she is behaving at the temple, everybody can understand. In this way, some of us, if we are not in the right sense of a genuine, because Madam Adhikari means that one who is a genuine, who is running a genuine service, he understands his position, he understands God, he knows how to relate with the devotees, he knows how to relate with the other acharyas and how to go with them. So in this light, when he sees one who is an innocent, who is trying to do something devotional service, he has that passion to help that person to also come to even the level that he or she is. That is a typical character of one who is a Madhyama Adhikari. But most of us who are, even though we have taken so many years in devotional service, but maybe, I don't know whether we are still in the canister, sometimes we take advantage of these people. We have to, when we see that maybe, especially when this canister or this neophyte devotee is a little bit opulent materially, we take advantage of them. We squeeze so many out of them before we realize, when they come to know that of all that we're being taught by this devotee that we thought is a senior devotee, but it was just like interested in whatever I'm possessing, then it will bring them down, to kill their spirit in their devotional life, of which is not good thing for us to do. So once we are growing devotional service, people of that nature or surface will be coming, because we are preaching. And while we are preaching, any person that you meet out there is an innocent person, it's a canister. He doesn't know anything about the Lord, he doesn't know anything about devotees, devotional service. So it is our duty to help those people to also know who is God himself, who am I, the Atma Tattva, to understand everything. So by so doing, by explaining the scriptures to them, by letting them to understand their position as an eternal servant to the Lord, and also we are all equal. It doesn't matter where the level that you are right now, but what is most important is that you have gotten the desire, wanting to become a devotee of the Lord, because we are all by nature's position, we are all eternal servant of God. But
it's okay. It's okay. You are going beyond your time. But your points are very, very salient. We should not take advantage of devotees. We should try to see how to relate properly by giving them Atma Tattva, knowledge about their real identity with the Lord and how they can develop. So some people misuse the opportunities that is there, but by misusing the opportunity, you stagnate yourself. You keep yourself on the lower level. You will not progress, and you'll be suffering. At a point, you'll be wondering. Then at a point, your consciousness becomes affected, and before you realize, Even though you have stayed many years, you see yourself losing faith and beginning to go down. You see, so any misuse of opportunity or position has its consequences, just as any proper use of position has its positive consequences. Misuse have negative consequences. So we have to be very, very careful wherever we find ourselves, whether we are thinking that we are Madhyama or Uttama. That's why the contribution that we are all canister is very, very important. A devotee who really want to make advancement in devotional service to see himself as a canister all the time and trying to see how to work on himself. But when he arrives at Madhyama, he will not be the one to say that he's a Madhyama. It's other people who will identify him as a Madhyama because of his activities, his conduct, his overall attitude. You know, all comes into play. But specifically, how does the Madhyama relate to the innocent? This is the question on the table. And the answer is that he preaches to them by his words, by his conduct, by his overall attitude. He preaches to them. When your activities demoralizes somebody and presses the person down, you are misusing your position and you are planting the seed for going down yourself. Because you must be down to pull others down. Yes, it cannot be up to pull people down. You have to be down to pull them down. So as you are trying to practice crab mentality in any way, you are actually pulling yourself down. You have to be down to drag people down. The crab found in a basket will never allow any other crab to evolve, to go out of the basket. Once anyone makes attempts, one will drag him down back into the basket until the owner will put all into hot water at the same time. All their color will turn red and pink. He cooked them because they will not allow any other one to go out. So just as they are there is a mentality, it's called crab mentality. An extension of this hypocrisy is there, double-faced. All these things, you can find them in a spiritual environment because it's an hospital, it's a spiritual hospital. And these things are there and everybody is there to cure himself. So forward-looking, we should be forward-looking. We should not allow ourselves to be dragged down by the other devotees or the behavior of some other devotees. So that is exactly why we need to study the scriptures, know the different types of devotees that have converged. We know how to conduct ourselves, know how to relate with them, then we evolve. On our own, despite all the distractions, we evolve. This is the process. The confrontations will be there. The obstacles have to be there to make this place the material world, to make this place a hospital, to make it a prison. But we have to maintain focus that we want to come out of it. And that's exactly why we need to study this particular course and other courses that are coming on board so that individually we can help ourselves. Hare Krishna. So that is it. There are a lot more about Madhyama, and that is the platform that most of us, most devotees are aspiring to become, because even to become Uttama, you will not be able to preach and your behavior might not be understandable by anyone. And, you know, it could be a disservice. So even those who are already on the Uttama, they have to come down to the Madhyama level to preach. That's why you see the activities of even the gurus. They do like us, they eat, they go on Harinam like us, they do everything that we are also doing, they chant japa like us, even though they don't need to follow all those things. They do it to show by example that this is the way you can be practically useful to Srila Prabhupada's mission. So don't give up. Artificial renunciation without purification leads to damnation. They call it like that. Renunciation without purification leads to degradation. So don't renounce now. Arjuna, don't renounce now. You want to renounce your responsibility? No. Act in Krishna consciousness. This is the whole Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna wanted to give up his duty, thinking of all the obstacles. And Krishna said, no, no. You don't have the right to give up. Stay there. Don't renounce artificially. Artificial renunciation without purification leads to degradation. Therefore, remain and live by example here. So that's why the Uttama Adhikaris, they come down to the Madhyama level to act in a way that will motivate every other person. So let us be on track. Madhyama Adhikariki Jai. So we have a lot more to talk on this, but because of the time, we have to abbreviate. So let us read Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto, 2nd chapter, verse number 46. These three verses are together. I want you to grab this so that after the class, you go there and scrutinizingly study them, make your notes, and let that note become your companion, devotee companion. Create your devotee companion by your notes. Hare Krishna. Kavi Prabhu, read for us now. We employ you because if we don't employ you now, the ghost of Yoni will be haunting you, and we don't want him to come near you. You are our most active man we ever can see.
So, Prabhu, and one other point is that, say today there is Bhakti by Baba, so we have to leave 5 minutes before the time.
Okay, so start now. That's why we have to.
Okay, an intermediate or second class devotee called Madhyama Adhikari offer his love to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's a sincere friend to all devotees of the Lord. Show mercy to ignorant people who are innocent, and disregard those who are envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Is it okay, or I should go into the purport first paragraph?
Read the purport, at least 2 or 3 paragraphs.
Okay, according to Bhagavad Gita, every living entity within the material world is eternally a minute fragmental portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mama evam so jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha. Bhagavad Gita 15:7. But because of the influence of Maya, the perfect conditioned souls become inimical to the service of the Lord, and the Lord's devotees choose to lead us among the materialistic sense gratifiers, and thus engage busily in a useless society of the cheaters and the cheated. A society of the blind leading the blind into a ditch. Although the community of the Vaishnavas is sincerely eager to serve the conditioned souls by bringing them back to their constitutional position, by Maya's influence, the materialistic living entity becomes hard-hearted and rejects the mercy of the Lord's devotees. According to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, although a second-class devotee is eager to preach to the innocent conditioned souls, he should avoid the atheistic class of men so that he will not become disturbed or polluted by their association. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur has confirmed that a Vaishnava should be indifferent to those who are envious of the Supreme Lord. It is practically seen that when such persons are informed of the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they attempt to ridicule the Supreme Lord, thus further deteriorating their polluted existence. In this connection, Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur has quoted from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 10:36. Grayo mumucho stoyam gwachina mucho shivam yata jana mritam kale gyani no dadate nava. Sometime in autumn, the water falls down from the top of the hills to supply clean water, and sometimes the water stops. Similarly, sometimes great saintly persons distribute clear knowledge, and sometimes they are silent. In this regard, Srila Jiva Goswami has mentioned that...
Okay, it's okay, please. It's okay. Okay, no, read is not okay, but the time is going also. the next paragraph is there, is so sweet, but the time is also going.
Okay, in this regard, Srila Jiva Goswami has mentioned that although the first-class devotee of the Lord may at times exhibit apparent hatred towards the demons because of entering the mood of the Lord's pastime, the intermediate devotee should avoid such feelings. Furthermore, the intermediate devotee should not in any way associate with the powerful atheistic class of men, because there is a danger that his mind will become bewildered by such association. According to Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur, if a Vaishnava preacher encounters one who is envious of him, the preacher should remain far away from such an envious person. But the Vaishnava preacher may immediately upon ways to save the envious class of men. Such meditation is called sadachar, or a saintly behavior. Srila Jiva Goswami has mentioned Prahlad Maharaj as an example of a saintly person. In Srimad
It's
Bhagavatam
okay.
7,
Stop
9,
now.
43,
Stop now.
there is
Stop
a
now.
statement
Stop.
by Prahlad Maharaj.
Stop.
Naivo Dvija Parad.
Oh, stop. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. On your own, go and read the remaining, the balance of the purpose. We are in the kingdom of time, so we have to respect time. Otherwise, time will deal with us. So go and read the remaining of the purpose there. Now, having said that, somebody should read Utpala Prabhu, if you are there. You should read the next paragraph, paragraph 4. Above the Madhyama Adhikari. Are you there, Utpala Prabhu? Krishna Bhaimini, are you there? Okay, read for us.
Okay, above the Madhyam Adhikari, there is the Uttama Adhikari devotee who sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord. He does not make any particular discrimination between the atheist and the theist, but he sees everything. But he sees every one of them to be part and parcel of God. He sees that there is no difference between a vastly learned Brahmana and a dog in the street, because both of them are the Lord, though in different embodiments due to the different qualities of material action. The Brahmana particle of the Supreme Lord has not misused the title, the little independence given him by the Lord. But the dog particle has misused his independence, and thus he has been punished by the law of nature. Being encaged in the ignorant form of a dog, without considering the respective actions of the Brahmana and the dog, the Uttama Adhikari tries to do good to both. Such a learned devotee of the Lord is not misled by the material bodies of the Brahmana and the dog, but he is attracted by the spiritual spark within the respective entities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Read the next paragraph in addition.
Okay. Those who imitate an Uttama Adhikari in terms of the sense of oneness or fellowship, but who behave in terms of bodily relationships, are false philanthropists. Therefore, the concept of the universal brotherhood must be learned from the Uttama Adhikari. Devotee must be learned from the Uttama Krishna. No, my glasses. Sorry. From the Uttama Adhikari devotee of the Lord, and not from a foolish person who has no proper vision of the individual soul and of the super soul, the planetary expansion of the Supreme Lord, which dwells everywhere.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So you can see this one, we have elaborated on it during the overview. That's where we went to quote the Vidya Vinaya Sampani verse of the Bhagavad Gita 5:18. We quoted it, we analyzed it. He sees with equal vision, and that translates into him changing his attitude towards everything, that people are suffering because of ignorance. He was there before like them, but he realized, and by taking to this process, he has become free. Therefore, these people are suffering there because of ignorance. Let me make some efforts to help them out of this. And he come down from the Uttama level, that realization level, to Madhyama level, whereby he goes to preach, because the real Uttamas, they don't preach. But this overflowing compassion propels him to preach. And that is where Srila Prabhupada comes out. Srila Prabhupada is an Uttama, but he comes down to Madhyama to be able to preach. So they can see these different people and how they are suffering and how to help them. Then the International Society for Krishna Consciousness is established for that purpose. And we are all given the opportunity to come on board as fortunate souls by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So this overflowing mercy, eventually, that is what is keeping all of us as becoming devotees, wanting to be part of Srila Prabhupada's mission in any way we can, using our individuality to serve Krishna under Srila Prabhupada's guidance. So this is very, very beautiful. However, there are some false imitator Uttamas, the materialists who try to see that we are all equal, everybody is suffering, but let us feed the. So they do Food for Life and many other programs, but not connected to Krishna, not that Krishna type of Food for Life, not the type I'm doing. They are Food for Life, they serve everything, including meat, fish, egg, and without discrimination. And at the same time, their intention is different. You see, they are trying to look for some popularity in the process so that they can use that to collect more donations from the already corrupt, misguided, soul-killing civilization led by soul killers in form of all kinds of perverted presidents who focus on materiality, on community. They focus on community or commodity rather than community. People who focus on commodities rather than community. These are the false philanthropists. They are also trying to see with their equal vision. Their equal vision is on the bodily platform. They don't know anything beyond the body. They say we are all human beings, that we all have the right to, but they are ignorant about the soul. So their levels should be distinguished from the proper Uttama Adhikari. They have selfish interest. The Uttama Adhikari's interest is to just help everybody to become devotee. We have already said that. So thank you very much. Let's read paragraph 6, because we stop all this reading in 3 minutes. And there's a lot. Everything that you are seeing, that we are enjoying now, is the translation of the vision of the Uttama Adhikari. And whatever we don't cover, you should read. You should go and read it on your own. But for now, we have 3 minutes to read the remaining of the purport. So, just Visham Prabhu, read the final purport for us. Just Visham, no, don't read. Bhakti Samuel, read the remaining purport for us. Samuel, are you there? I catch somebody. Gopi Priya, are you there? I want to catch somebody who is hiding. Gopi Priya, are you there? Just we are seeing you, so we know you are there, so you don't worry. Okay, you can read because they are wasting our time. Read.
It is clearly mentioned in the 6th mantra that one should observe or systematically see. This means that one must follow the previous acharyas. The perfected teachers. Anupashanti is the exact Sanskrit word used in this connection. Anu means to follow, and Pashanti means to observe. Thus, the word Anupashanti means that one should not see things as he does with the naked eyes, but should follow the previous acharyas. Due to material defects, the naked eyes cannot see anything properly. One cannot see properly unless one has heard from the superior source. And the higher source is the Vedic wisdom, which is spoken by the Lord himself. Vedic truths are coming in disciplic succession from the Lord to Brahma, from Brahma to Narada, from Narada to Vyasa, and from Vyasa to many of these disciples. Formerly, there was no need to record the messages of the Vedas because people in earlier ages were more intelligent and had sharper memories. They could follow the instructions simply by hearing once from the mouth of a bona fide spiritual master.
Carry on to the end.
At present, there are many commentaries on the revealed scripture, but most of them are not in the line of discipline succession coming from Srila Vyasadeva, which originally compiled the Vedic wisdom. The final most perfect and sublime work by Srila Vyasadeva is Prema Bhagavatam, which is the natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. There is also the Bhagavad Gita, which was spoken by the Lord himself and recorded by Vyasudeva. Those are the most important revealed scripture and commentary. And any commentary that contradicts the principles of the Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam is unauthorized. There are complete agreement among the Upanishad, Vedanta Sutra, Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, and Srimad Bhagavatam. And no one should try to reach any conclusion about the Vedas without receiving instruction from the members of Vyasudeva's disciplic succession, and who believe in the personality of Godhead and his diverse energies as they are explained in Sri Isopanishad. According to the Bhagavad Gita 1854, only one who is already on liberation platform, Brahma Buddha, can become an Uttama Adhikari devotee and see every living being as his own brother. This vision cannot be had by politicians who are always after some material gain. One who imitates the symptoms of an Uttama Adhikari may serve another's outward body for the purpose of fame or material reward, but he does not serve the spirit soul. Such an imitator can have no information of the spiritual world. The Uttama Adhikari sees the spiritual soul within the material body and serve him as spirit. Thus, the material aspect is automatically served. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thus material, the Uttama Adhikari sees the spirit soul of an entity and serves him as spirit, which includes matter automatically. So that is it.
2
we
minutes
already
more.
analyzed this one during the introduction before. So now we have a few minutes. Let us just do the internal summary by the PowerPoints, because this one was discussed when we are doing the overview. So the purport is already clear. It has been trashed during the overview. Additional points have been added. Now let us go to the Upanishads 6. Okay. Can you see what I'm seeing on the screen? Mantra 6, division of oneness. Mantra 6 describes the division of one who can see Krishna everywhere. I better give us 5 minutes. This is the sloka. This is the sloka. And the super soul in every living being. And the super soul in every living being never hates any being or anything. Now, this is the vision of oneness. Different categories of devotees developing spiritual vision. The Kanista Adhikari, his quality is in the lowest stage of devotional service, his visit place of worship, the Lord present only there, you see the Lord only in the temple. He cannot ascertain other positions, he follow the routine, and he quarrels. Then it's materialistic devotee. It's a devotee but materialistic. Madhyama Adhikari, these are his qualities. Intermediate devotee, he distinguishes 4 categories. Some things are missing there in the PowerPoint, but I will leave them. I will not waste time because it's not good. The Uttama Adhikari is the highest stage, is in the highest stage of devotional service. He sees everything in relation to Krishna and doesn't discriminate. He tries to do good to all. He sees spiritual spark in everyone. That means he sees the individual soul. But not only that, he sees the super soul also. So his position is very elevated. Who can see? Sorry, something is blocking my listening. Already on the liberated stage, those who are already on the liberated stage can see.
Hello.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Oh, my PowerPoint is getting stuck. I don't know why. It's getting stuck. So, okay. On this note, since it's getting stuck, we may have to go. But I'm so disappointed it's getting stuck. But it's only a few slides left. So when we are beginning the next class, we can begin with this slide just to summarize. And in this way, I don't think we should go beyond because our time is against now. Thank you very much. We should all go back and read those particular verses that we gave. Also read the last part of the purpose again individually. Identify Madhyama. We should not stay at Kanista Adhikaris. We should try to evolve to Madhyama. From Madhyama, ultimately we can attain Uttama. Okay, through Sadhana Bhakti, we can attain to Madhyama. And when we are there, the rest is by revelation. We can just stay there as Madhyama, act as Madhyama, and whatever else we need to know in order to go beyond the Lord will, so that we can see things clearly as they are and act accordingly. All in Krishna consciousness. Why? Because when we act in that understanding, that pure vision, seeing all souls as spiritual, qualitatively one, and seeing the Lord in everyone's heart as a super soul, and acting accordingly, automatically all material purposes are served. So become, at least desire to become a Madhyama Adhikari by this practice. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for attending this class. Thank you very much for your contributions, and thank you very much for staying to the end. We have already, thank you. You can go off the net. Thank you very much. It's co-founder Charya Srila Prabhupada Ki.
So see you all again next week. The same place, the same classroom, the same facilitator is Great Caitanya Prema Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. My PowerPoint got stuck, but we start from there next time. Thank you very much.